Hi everyone, I'm Charissa.Willow with Charissa.Willow Mixed Media Art. In this video, I'm going to show how I made weekly Weiner Dog number 7. Now that we are officially in the holiday season, I thought it was appropriate for a holiday piece. I came up with this idea to have a long Weiner Dog wrapped around the Christmas tree with his little hat having the star on the top of the tree. I started with this sketch in my sketchbook, but I knew that I wanted to do this with collage papers. The supplies I used for this project are a mat, a white gel pen, and a black acrylic paint pen. I use an Oohoo glue stick and a knife, this joy stamp, and a music stamp along with a clear stamp block, a ruler, a plastic scraper, some Mod Podge and a craft brush, a small and large scissors. I used some mixed media paper. This is 154-pound paper, and I use a collection of gel prints and craft papers from my paper stash. I like the idea I have in my sketchbook, but I know I want to do a slightly different color story. I still want my Weiner Dog to be pink, but I decide I want the tree to be green, his hat to be blue, and the star to be yellow. Since there is a little piece cut out from this paper, I use it as a window to decide which color green I want for the tree. I know I'm going to use this pink paper for the dog. I decided I like this paper best, and I cut out a triangle for the tree. I have this silhouette of a Weiner Dog left over from a different project, and I use it for a stencil for today's project. I just traced the back part of the stencil, and then I cut it into a long strip. I cut the strips so that they are just wider than the tree, and I lay them over the tree to see what they will look like. I then go back to using this as a stencil, this time only tracing the front of the Weiner Dog. I then cut him out and place him on the tree. I also cut out a little hat and a star, and I place them on his head to see how they will look. I changed my mind about this long skinny tree, and I cut it down so that it's shorter and fatter before I glue it on to another piece of copy paper. I glue this down to copy paper first because it will be easier to see what it looks like over my background and arrange it on the card. Copy paper is nice and thin, so it'll be easy to collage. I then fussy cut my collage. I decide on this gel print for the background, and I use Mod Podge to attach it to some mixed media paper. I have cut out some packages and a little bird, and I decide where I want everything to land on its background. Once I have decided where I want things to go, I use an Oohoo glue stick to glue this down to my project. I like these Oohoo glue sticks because they're very forgiving. If you decide you want something in a slightly different place, it's easy to peel off and replace. When I went to use my glue stick for this part, I realized it was all dried out and it would not work. I was really frustrated because I had left the cap off overnight. Then I realized if I cut off the top, I could still use the glue stick and it worked just fine. It's kind of silly to share in this video, but I thought this tip might be helpful for you someday. Once I have the collage glued down the way I want it, I come back over with Mod Podge to make it stay more permanently. I stamped the word joy onto the same yellow gel print that I used for the star in the package. I really thought about what phrase I wanted for this project. I finished this the day after Thanksgiving. I know that a lot of people, myself included, can really feel stressed over the holidays. After having such a beautiful day with a small gathering where everyone pitched in and we had such a relaxing, fun time, I was truly filled with gratitude. I chose this phrase to encourage myself as well as others to remember what this season is all about. I decide on the phrase, find the joy in the season. First, I write this with a ballpoint pen before going back over it to darken it with a Posca pen. The ink on the word joy is not quite dry and I end up smudging it while I'm writing my words. I cut out a new piece of paper and stamp the word joy to replace it. I then use the paint pen to outline the entire project. For the black package, I use a white gel pen. I use a glue stick to attach the word joy to my project. At this point, I decide it needs just a little something more, so I come in with some white ink and this music stamp, and I stamp a little here and there on my project. I am using scrap paper to cover up the focal point so I don't stamp over my focal point. So here's the finished project. I hope you like it. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on Facebook at Charissa.Willow Mixed Media Art or on Instagram at Charissa.Willow. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will find the joy in the season. Thanks. Have a great day.